The name of Bellatrix Lestrange is enough to send shivers down the spines of even the bravest witches and wizards, nearly 30 years after her death. That reputation did not emerge without reason. For 46 years, her cruelty, fanatical devotion, and sadistic pleasure in inflicting pain left a bloody stain upon the wizarding world. Many considered her even more insane than the Dark Lord himself. Bellatrix was not merely a Death Eater. She was Lord Voldemort's most loyal follower, his most dangerous servant, and his greatest admirer. But behind the hatred and twisted loyalty lies a dark story that began with her birth, one that transformed her into the most feared witch of her generation, and perhaps of all time. Want to know more about her? Then, without further delay, let's begin the video.
Born in 1951 as Bellatrix Black, she was the eldest daughter of Cygnus and Druella Black, members of one of the oldest and proudest pure-blood wizarding families, part of the Sacred 28. That's right, she was the first cousin of Sirius Black. From the cradle, Bellatrix and her younger sisters, Andromeda and Narcissa, were raised under the philosophy of pure-blood supremacy. Witches and wizards of impeccable magical lineage deserved every privilege magic could offer, while everyone else deserved nothing. While her middle sister, Andromeda, questioned those beliefs, and Narcissa followed tradition to the letter, Bellatrix embraced the most extreme ideals of her family with terrifying enthusiasm. The seed of fanaticism had already been planted. In 1962, she arrived at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry, and, as expected, since nearly every member of the Black family belonged there, the Sorting Hat barely touched her head before shouting, "Slytherin!" There, she found the perfect environment for her ambition and cruelty to flourish, surrounded by other young blood purists who would later become her fellow Death Eaters, such as Lucius Malfoy, who attended Hogwarts a few years after her. After graduating around 1969, Bellatrix fulfilled what was expected of her, a marriage meant to preserve the purity of the bloodline. She married Rodolphus Lestrange, a fellow Slytherin from an equally purist family. Naturally, there was no love or affection in the marriage. It was a social contract, a duty meant to preserve pure blood. Bellatrix's heart, if one could even say she had one, already belonged to someone else, Lord Voldemort. When the First Wizarding War began in 1970, Bellatrix and her husband did not hesitate to join the Death Eaters. She quickly distinguished herself not only through her skill in dueling, but also through her obsessive loyalty and sadism. I even made a note here that Voldemort himself supposedly trained her in the dark arts, because he saw in her the perfect warrior, sadistic, loyal, and completely fanatical. However, I could not find anything officially confirming this. Still, considering that Voldemort taught Severus Snape how to fly, I personally believe he did train her, especially given the feats she accomplished during the Battle of Hogwarts, feats that placed her above many other witches and wizards. Everything in her life seemed to be unfolding exactly as she wished, committing brutal crimes and spreading terror, until Voldemort's downfall in 1981. While many Death Eaters denied their allegiance in order to escape justice, claiming they had acted under the Imperious Curse, Bellatrix did the opposite. She, her husband Rodolphus, her brother-in-law Rabastan, and Barty Crouch Jr. refused to believe their master had vanished forever. In a desperate search for information, they captured the Aurors Frank and Alice Longbottom, parents of the young Neville Longbottom. For hours, they tortured the couple with the Cruciatus Curse, driving them permanently insane. The horrific crime did not go unpunished. Bellatrix and her accomplices were captured and sentenced to life imprisonment in Azkaban. During the trial, she showed absolutely no remorse. On the contrary, she proudly proclaimed her loyalty, screaming that the Dark Lord would return and reward them. For 14 long years, Bellatrix wasted away in Azkaban, but her fanatical loyalty never wavered. In January 1996, her prophecy came true. With the help of the Dementors, who had allied themselves with Voldemort, a massive breakout occurred at the prison, and Bellatrix was free. She immediately returned to her master's side, more dangerous and unstable than ever. Her first major action was during the Battle of the Department of Mysteries. There, she dueled with savage ferocity, defeating her own niece, Nymphadora Tonks, and battling Kingsley Shacklebolt. Then came the cruelest moment of the night. She cast a deadly red spell at Sirius Black and sent him through the veil, taking the life of her own cousin. An important detail is that she did not use the killing curse in the books, unlike in the films. That was added in the adaptation because many readers believed Sirius might still be alive and return someday, so the filmmakers chose to make his death more explicit. During the battle at the Ministry, Albus Dumbledore arrived and immobilized all the Death Eaters who were still standing, including Bellatrix and Lucius Malfoy. However, when Voldemort fled, he freed her from the magical restraint Dumbledore had created using one of the Ministry statues. A few months after the battle at the Ministry, Bellatrix accompanied Narcissa to Snape's house. As punishment for failing to retrieve the prophecy, Voldemort had assigned Draco Malfoy an almost impossible mission: to kill Dumbledore. Everyone knew Draco would fail, including Voldemort himself. Desperate, Narcissa Malfoy begged Snape to help her son. At that moment, Bellatrix, who deeply distrusted Snape, called him a coward and insisted he would never help them. But Snape, maintaining his carefully crafted facade, promised to assist them and performed the unbreakable vow. Then, on June 30th, 1997, Hogwarts was invaded and Dumbledore was killed. That night marked the Battle of the Astronomy Tower, during which Bill Weasley was attacked by the werewolf Fenrir Greyback, though fortunately he did not become a full werewolf. After that, Bellatrix's cruelty only continued to grow. Dumbledore was dead, and it seemed as though nothing could stop them anymore. The Ministry of Magic in Hogwarts had fallen under Voldemort's control, and Bellatrix was at the height of her power, walking freely through the streets without needing to hide. The Dark Lord's most faithful right hand. Then came the moment when the Snatchers, led by Fenrir Greyback and Scabior, captured Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione Granger and brought them to Malfoy Manor. When Bellatrix saw the sword of Gryffindor in the hands of one of the captives, she panicked, believing the real sword was safely stored inside her vault, unaware that the one in her possession was a fake. She then began torturing Hermione, and this truly shows just how cruel Bellatrix was. Afterward came the escape, thanks to our beloved Dobby. However, Bellatrix threw her dagger and struck Dobby, in what remains one of the saddest scenes in the entire story. When Voldemort learned what had happened, he kept everyone at the manor trapped there without permission to leave, furious over their incompetence. During the Battle of Hogwarts on May 2nd, 1998, Bellatrix fought with savage brutality. After the disaster at Malfoy Manor, she needed to prove her worth once again. She even took the life of her niece, Nymphadora Tonks, daughter of her sister Andromeda, leaving Tonks and Remus Lupin's son orphaned. It was almost symbolic, as though she were pruning traitors from her own family tree. Inside the Great Hall, she dueled simultaneously against Hermione, Ginny Weasley, and Luna Lovegood, laughing as her spells tore through the hall. Then a killing curse passed inches from Ginny, leading to one of the most unforgettable moments in the books. Molly Weasley, enraged by the threat to her only daughter, screamed, "Not my daughter, you bitch!" The duel that followed was incredible. Bellatrix, arrogant to the very end, mocked Molly over the death of Fred Weasley, but she underestimated the power of a mother protecting her child. Molly's curse struck Bellatrix squarely in the chest, and the most feared Death Eater of all, Voldemort's most loyal servant, fell dead. And so ended the story of Bellatrix Lestrange, the only witch capable of being even more unbearable than Voldemort himself, and, For some, even worse than Dolores Umbridge. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're beginning this new project focused on longer form content, so if you liked it, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like. More videos will be coming later this week. Until next time, and Nox.